You're a Catholic?
Yes.
I'm one too.
You believe, don't you? You think it's true?
Of course it's true. These atheists don't know nothing. Of course there's hell, flames, damnations, torments.
One of my favourite books is Brighton Rock by Graham Greene. I think I was about 14 when I first read the book. And it's kind of growing up in England, it's one of those novels that you just know you have to read at some point. Brighton Rock is about a young man called Pinky who has this streak of malevolence and violence in him that terrifies everybody around him. And he gets this girl to fall in love with him because she has evidence that could condemn him, and he knows that if he marries her, she can't be forced to testify against him.
Don't give me a waiter, will you? I mean, tell her it wasn't you-know-who who left the card.
Pinky, I don't care what you've done.
When I first came to know the character of Pinky, I thought there was something kind of cool about him. But it's by virtue of being a sociopath, I now realise, you know, it's in that compelling way that most psychos do. They're pretty, you know, a lot of them very charming people.
What's your name?
Rose?
You and me ought to get acquainted.
Edinburgh is sort of synonymous with the book, I feel now, at least. You know, that film is, you know, has become so iconic. I would have been 14 or, you know, around then when I first was getting into the book and the film. I was just so thrilled to suddenly be in this world where these, like, big ideas are being discussed. And that's what's so great about Graham Greene generally, is that he always found an interesting framework to discuss massive ideas about religion and forgiveness. Also, what's interesting about the film is that even though it's kind of a crime drama and it's set in Brighton, which is quite a bright place, it's actually kind of shot like a Hammer movie. It's really moody and atmospheric. And also, the ending is very different in the book from the film, and it's one of the bleakest, most devastating endings to something that I've ever read. Like, it leaves you numb. But in the film, they do something very clever, because obviously they have to make it a slightly more cinematic ending, but they found an interesting way to do that. But seeing where film can accentuate the original material is one of the most fun parts about, I guess, the adaptation process. You know, especially if you've got an interesting director who has an interesting take on that material, then you will be offered a completely fresh perspective on that book.
Experience the most memorable literary works ever translated to the big screen as Turner Classic Movies presents Great Adaptations, Mondays and Wednesdays this month on Turner Classic Movies.